So this lecture we will study about Cārvāka. This theory originates about 600, 500 BC or 600 BC. This was a time when urbanization was taking place. Mahajanapadas were coming in the picture, and merchant classes emerged. Many merchant classes emerged, and trade expansion took place in different regions of the world. So naturally there was a rich, well-to-do people who were not really interested in Vedas or soul or rebirth or heaven and hell. They were economically quite well to do and socially as well, and that's how they managed to be a rebel. Yeah, that's Cārvākas. They were what today a lot of common people are, and we will know how is that. So here Cārvākas were also called as Lokayata. Loka means the world, and they were materialistic. So yeah, that's how they were called, Lokayata, and they were quite popular among common people even at that time. Of course not all the common people, but pretty much, because these rituals and Vedic rituals and a lot of stuff, they were getting costly, and people started interacting with the rest of the world, like Southeast Asia and other parts as well. So they started seeing that not everyone has same culture or belief, and not everyone believes in the soul and God and everything the same way. So perhaps there might be more of an imagination than a reality, and that was probably what some people were thinking, and they were called Cārvākas. So So their core stand is that only pratyaksh is a valid praman. So in philosophy, especially Indian philosophy as well, yeah, in philosophy, we will be definitely studying the most important thing about every philosophy is their epistemology. That is, how do they know whatever they know, whatever they believe or think? What is the criteria? Once you know that, I think rest of the things seem logical from that point of view. So for that purpose, the most important thing about any philosophy is its epistemology. How do they know what they know? So here, as we know that they only accepted pratyaksha as a valid pramana, that is only what they could see from their eyes, or what they could smell, or what they could touch or listen immediately. So yeah, these five senses, that is what forms the basis of their knowledge. So why Cārvākas reject Anuman? Well, if you know, to establish Anuman or inference, one needs a universal concomitance or an invariable relation. Like wherever there is a smoke, there is a fire. This is an example of Vyapti or invariable universal concomitance, and that has to be established based upon observed phenomena. But Cārvākas do not accept it as a valid pramana in the larger sense, because they believe that one can never observe all the cases. There can always be some cases where there is smoke but there is no fire. Like there are cases where, like we have seen this now in real life, that there are some things which give out smoke but they do not catch fire. So to think that wherever there will be smoke there will always be fire is not exactly always correct. It's not invariably correct. So these were the doubts which they had, and that's why they believe that Anumana cannot be accepted. Here Hetu is smoke, which is the evidence. Sadhya is to prove, which is fire, and Vyapti is obviously Vyapti. So now Cārvākas attack on Vyapti in these ways, 4 ways. First, perception, only limited cases. Illicit generalization, few cases observed cannot be universal truth. Inference, you cannot prove Vyapti through perception. That is what they meant here. You can also not prove Vyapti through inference, because inference includes Vyapti, and proving Vyapti through Vyapti is petito principi, which is circular fallacy. And you cannot trust verbal testimony or shabda, which we'll see in the coming lectures. Something which many Indian philosophies accept as a valid pramana from an authoritative person, but even shabda is established based on inference, because authority is established based on inference. When someone is consistently true, when someone is consistently honest and consistently maintains integrity, then you start believing their words and whatever they say. So in a way it's an inference. You have observed x amount of cases that they have been honest, true in retrospect and so on, and then in future you start believing them, that yeah, till now they have always been true, they have always been honest, so we can trust him or we can trust her. So it's an inference, it's a form of inference. That's why they don't believe, Charvakas don't believe in verbal testimony either. Charvakas also don't believe in cause and effect relations, because according to them that also is a kind of vyapti, and they believe that cause effect is an accidental conjunction of an antecedent and consequent. Basically they don't believe in this, and they believe that this is only psychological level or habit which your mind has gotten into, and there is no cause and effect relation. There is no relation between the two events which take place. So the main criticism against Charvakas comes from Jainas and from the Vedic philosophers as well. So the main criticism against this stand of Charvakas is that they violate their own epistemological position. Like they say that you cannot trust inference because we have seen many cases where inference came out to be false, hence you cannot trust inference. This is what Charvakas used to say in order to justify them not accepting inference as a valid pramana. But people question that you yourself used inference to invalidate inference. Isn't that a violation, a self-contradiction? Then you believe in, people say that in criticism of Cārvāka, that you believe in perception, but we have seen cases where perception can go wrong as well, like illusion, hallucination, like rope snake analogy, mirage, dream, etc. In these cases, error created by perception is contradicted by inference. Like you are in a deep sleep and you see something and you feel that it is real, and then you wake up and it's no more there and it is never coming back, probably ever. So you realize it was just a dream, it was just an illusion, and it is not real because it does not exist now after waking up. So using inference, you invalidate that wrong perception or illusion. So it's not that inference is absolutely not useful and perception is always right. This is what the critics are trying to explain or to tell the Cārvākas. According to Jainas, if one asks Cārvāka to provide the basis for considering perception as the only pramana, they will either maintain silence or probably walk away. Plus, if we don't accept inference as a pramana, practical life would become difficult. This is what critics have to say about this. So in one line, what did we study? Pratyaksha, sense-object contact, is the only valid pramana according to Cārvākas. They reject Anumana because it cannot be proved by perception or inference or Shabda. Cause and effect is also only a not logically necessary, but only a habit or psychological thing, and not necessarily logically related. This is what their take was on cause and effect. And an important point critics raise against this point of view of Cārvākas is that they are using inference to deny or reject inference, that a pratyaksha cannot always be right. There are illusions and dreams and mirages, or rope snake situation where a rope appears as a snake. So yeah, it cannot always be right. So that was the critiques POV against Cārvāka. Now Cārvāka metaphysics, I think we know by now that they don't really believe in metaphysical world, because they don't believe in other forms of pramana and only pratyaksha. And pratyaksha can only see what is there in the physical world, not metaphysical world. According to Cārvāka, reality is matter only. Basically, matter is a reality and it is pluralistic, and their reality or matter is made up of four: Mahabhut, Prithvi, Apa, which is water, Tejas, which is fire, and Vayu, which is air. They reject transcendental entities, all extra sensory entities: no soul, no God, no moksha. Main doctrine is Dehatmavad or Bhut Chaitanyavad, according to which consciousness is a byproduct of matter. There is no separate soul, but the body is the self. Body plus material combine and produce consciousness. For that they give argument: as long as body lives, consciousness exists. Body is dead and consciousness is gone. If soul was separate, it should be independently perceivable, but no such external soul is perceived per se. So common experience is consciousness is a body quality, just like a beetle and areca plus lime can give reddish color, just like yeast and molasses can give intoxicating quality, like in alcohol, where the fruits are fruits give earlier fruits don't have that intoxicating quality, but after going through some process, physical process, intoxication quality comes into picture. So same way, consciousness is simply a byproduct of different elements interacting in a particular way, and that is consciousness. And just like in computers, like computers seem to have intelligent, AI seem to be intelligent just like humans, but it does not have a soul, does it? It is made up of silicon, rare earth, and so steel, and so on and so forth. So that is kind of analogy Cārvāks used to deny the existence of Atma or soul. And their view on God was that it is unperceived, so not acceptable. And the world we see is just natural tendency of matter to combine, and universe is perhaps an accidental combination of material elements. Like universe exists because of some accident, and there is no creator who created it intentionally or unintentionally. This theory is called Yadrachavad, and naturalism is Swabhavad, and accident or chance is called Yadrachavad. Bottom line is no conscious creator needed. Liberation, well, for them moksha or liberation is simply the death. That itself is a liberation, because with death comes complete cessation of suffering and rebirth, according to them. And they believe that suffering in life can only be reduced and never fully be removed. Complete end happens only after death, and death is not a goal, so moksha loses meaning. For them, death is not a goal. For them, the goal in life is to be happy, to enjoy, to have pleasures. That is their goal in life, Cārvāka's goal. And artha is the means to achieve it. That means they will earn money, they will earn resources only so that they can enjoy life more. Basically, it is similar to that quote. I don't remember the name, but it goes like the goal in life is to have a good time all the time. So that's Cārvākas in a nutshell. So they are also accused to be hedonists and egoists and immoral people who do not have morality or principles. This is what they were accused of by philosophers, Vedic philosophers of that time, even non-Vedic philosophers of that time. For them, for Cārvākas, life is all about eating, drinking and enjoying. Yavata jivita sukha jivita. So we will conclude. There is one more page, but we'll just try to summarize this second page. So only pratyaksh matters. Matter is real, and soul, God, moksha rejected, and consciousness is a material byproduct, like betel and areca nut plus lime give reddish color, like in pan. That's what we call it in Hindi. And intoxicating qualities which an alcohol has comes from yeast and molasses. So yeah, something like that. Consciousness is also a material byproduct, and the world is explained through accident, which is Yadrachavad. Accidental combination of material elements, that's universe, Yadrachavad. YADRCCHAVADA, Yadrachavad. Pleasure is life's aim, no moksha. Moksha is death, or probably they don't believe in moksha. Death itself is a liberation, and goal is to enjoy Yavata Jivata Sukha Jivata. This life is happy life. There is no heaven. That is what they believed. Like a lot of people today would believe. Cārvāka's criticism of transcendental entities plus Akasha. They did not accept Akasha as the fifth element, unlike many counterparts in the Indian philosophy who accept five fundamental elements: Earth, Vayu, Prithvi, Vayu, Agni, and Akash, and they also accept fire. So yeah, five elements, which is usually accepted, but Cārvāka do not accept Akash because it cannot be seen. So the criticism of Cārvāka say that Chaitanya or consciousness is a byproduct of matter, but critics ask, have they seen it? There is no pratyaksha, and they do not seem to believe in inference or anumana either. So how did they come to believe that Chaitanya is a byproduct of matter? So that was self-contradictory according to critics. So Bhagavad Gita says that existence cannot come out of non-existence, bhav cannot come out of abhav, and betel alcohol examples show material qualities from matter, and they cannot be used to explain consciousness coming out of matter. These are critics' words. Yeah, I guess that is it. That is it from Cārvāka. And they don't believe that then there is a need of medium for sound, unlike Nyaya Vaisheshik, who believe that, who prove Akasha based on inference, that there is that sound requires Akasha, or something which is eternal or all-pervading. So on that basis, Nyaya Vaisheshika accepts Akasha as a fifth element, but Cārvāka reject it because it cannot be perceived, and they think there is no need of an unperceivable medium for sound. Sound is a product of four Mahabhutas according to Cārvāka: earth, water, fire, and air. And it is propagated through mutual interaction between them, similar to modern science view that sound propagation through material conditions only. Sound can travel in solid, can travel in liquid, can travel in gas, just there should be some particles. No vacuum, no sound. Yeah, I think so. Just like Immanuel Kant said that Hume awakened him from dogmatic slumber. I think we can thank Cārvāka for giving this philosophy and saving the Indian philosophy from dogmatism. and too metaphysicalistic. There are few quotes from Cārvāks, but I don't think that can be used in exam. So I think that is it. So yeah, see you.